All right, the reason for the recording is this will be converted to an MP4. I have members on my public relations committee that will be able to crop certain portions of it, or just take the entire MP4 and get that out there for everyone to share. That can be sent via email or YouTube. Even we'll discuss possibly putting some snippets on there if everyone behaves. So we'll do that. My name is Victoria McCoy. I'm the chair for the National Public Relations Committee. And we started doing this a year ago. It's a social time. I always throw out one topic. Tonight is a hot topic. It is a very hot topic as we see a lot of uniforms out there with amazing, amazing things happening during the ball, during Toys for Tots. We do have two guests tonight with us, aside from our national staff. One of our guests is Angela Manis. Angela Manis is the chair for the Color Guard / Honor Guard Committee. Okay, she's going to speak. Craig Reeling joined us? I've been so busy. We got 3 pages of amazing people. Hold on. Craig Reeling will also be here if he's not here already.
I'm here.
All right, wonderful. Again, I got 3 pages. We have 54 participants. So to start this thing, I am going to ask Angela Manis first. I'm going in alphabetical order here. So Angela, you go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and what kind of questions you're welcoming tonight. Floor is yours, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say a couple of things. You may or may not have seen on the Facebook page, I'm posting things for the Honor Guard and the Color Guard so that we can all get on the same sheet of music. There's been a lot of complaints and accolades about Color Guards and Honor Guards. But unless you show our membership pictures of what right looks like, everyone's got their opinion about the way it should be. And nobody wants to read the policy, so I just thought I'll just show you, give you a picture of what it looks like. So I did that earlier this week. On Tuesday, I put out about 6 pictures of things that are way wrong, things that have been sent to me to identify. And if you saw them, good, you know, those are things let's not ever do ever again. But yesterday and the day before that, I posted great photos of color guards that are doing the right thing. And we have more right than wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to make sure I say that. But the 4 things I want to touch on with you right now before I give this over to Craig is, you know, when you're talking about a color guard and you're talking about a honor detail, a firing squad, you know, that is the best that you have out there. That's the mentality you should take if you are part of that team. And what I want to get across to you is that you want to present yourself with the uniform that's required. The uniform required for a honor guard and color guard is not a polo shirt. It is not a red jacket. Okay, there's one uniform. Now, the white shirt, whether you put your name tag on it, your ribbons on it, your DOD, your Marine Corps League, that's on you, and that's on your honor guard commander to make that call. If you're upstate in New York, Wisconsin, and you've got some inclement weather, hey, commander, make the call. Put a jacket on. But when you put a jacket on one, you put them on all of them. Symmetrical, uniformity, that's what we're looking for. All right. Can I get a thumbs up if you're tracking with me right now, everybody? You understand what I'm talking about, right? The color guard. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So it's very important for us to send the message across the nation. We have one uniform. We look good in it. If we need to make modifications because of inclement weather, let the unit commander make that call. But it's straight across the board. Everybody looks the same. All right. One more thing I want to touch on is the flag, the national colors. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're marching outside, the national colors doesn't have fringe around the outside of it. Okay. So if you have a flag and that's all you have right now, good to go. But go ahead and place another order for a 4x6 flag, a 9-foot staff. this is what we should be marching with. If you don't have that, that's fine. Do a fundraiser and, you know, make some money and get you the right equipment. But again, if you think that you're in the right by marching with a national color flag that's got the yellow fringe around it outside, you're wrong. That flag stays indoors. Just something to remember. Okay. I think that's really all I wanted to touch on right now, because there's so much to the color guard and the honor guard. We should be very proud of the ones out there right now that are doing it, that have the capability. And if you see it, and if you are a former drill instructor or have had time on the street, I would ask that you help us get what right looks like. All right. And if you find something that you need to send to me, a picture of it, I'll be happy to take a look at it too. I see Lisa as well. Lisa is on the committee. You know, if you're on the committee and you're in this room, if you could please let me know that you're here. I think Lisa and I are the only ones right now.
Ray Morrell?
Oh, Ray's here. Yes. Hey, outstanding. Welcome aboard, Ray. Ray, Lisa, all part of the Color Guard, Honor Guard Committee. And we're doing our best to get our videos out to you so you can see exactly what we want you to do. We're writing a new order for the Color Guard. That should be out and to you by January 2022. And did I miss anything coming up, Baker? No? Okay. Well, I'll take your questions now if you'd like to, if you have any for me. If not, I'll pass it over to Craig.
All right, before we go on, Craig, there was a question that came up. Somebody needs to mute. There's a lot of background noise. Question by Krakow. You have the floor, sir.
I know individually ribbons are either DOD or MCL. What about the whole group? If one does DOD, does the whole group have to do DOD?
Okay, no. The answer is no. Keep it simple. In the Marine Corps, you would never say everybody's going to wear only one ribbon. That is an individual choice. So thank you for asking that question. But you know, let's not get nitpicky about this when it comes to individual. You know what right looks like, right? Please go ahead and inspect them. Inspect what you expect before you even get out in front of public. Okay. But thank you for that question.
Any other questions for not for uniform, for honor guard, color guard at this time? We got a Jeff Strauss. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, what about trousers? Blue with stripe? Can the associates be without stripe, or should all be without stripe?
Jeff, okay, I'm surprised you're asking me this question, but
I know it. I'm just making sure everybody else knows it, Angela.
oh, thank you so much. Okay, team player right there. All right, Jeff, to answer his question, absolutely. You got a volunteer force. If you got 3 associates in there and you got 2 regular members, everybody plays. Everybody plays in their uniform. All right. Don't try to give them something that they don't deserve or they can't wear. That's just wrong. And oh, by the way, this is a all volunteer force, male, female, associate, regular member. Let them all play. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Next on the floor with a question is Gary. Gary Stewart, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question about the right side flag patch. On color guards, is that required, or the MODD patch can be on there? I've seen both.
Mm-hmm. You've seen both because that's what we do. You got some members like myself, not a military order of the devil dog yet. So I still have my American patch, and the MODD has that choice, right? Dogs, you have that
Yes.
choice whether you want to wear the patch or you want to keep the American flag on. That is, again, a personal uniform choice. Absolutely wear it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Great question. These are great questions. Next up is going to be Aaron Bazan. Sorry if I mispronounce it. TJ, you're on deck.
All right,
Is there-
I have a question regarding the flag poles. Are they chrome or are they bronze colored or gold colored?
Okay, Aaron, is that right?
Yes.
All right, Aaron. Hey, every detachment has, not everybody's got the money to buy the 9-foot staff that we would like for you to have. But those that do, it's wooden, okay? Doesn't matter
Right.
what color it is, but they better match. Remember what I said about symmetrical and uniformity? When you're going to suit up your color guard, you make sure that they're all looking the right way, Aaron. I think you'll be good to go with that.
Yeah,
Let me
because I
talk
had
to you.
had the Young Marines
Sure.
for over 10 years. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Aaron, because you jolted my memory. On those 9-foot staffs, there's a spearhead at the end of it. All right. The spearhead is what you want to have every time you parade the colors. Now, what I have seen, in addition to that yellow fringe, is the eagle sitting on top of the stick. That's not what we want. If you right now are parading your colors and you have something other than the spearhead, you need to replace that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's up our game. Let's get out of the trailer park, go into the condominium and get a spearhead on your doggone colors, okay?
All right, thank you, Angela. Before
You're
TJ, before you take the floor, sir, just want to remind everybody, please to mute unless you are called upon. A lot of background noises are coming in. And secondly, please don't mistake Angela Manis's presence, color guard and honor guard for more specific uniform questions. We'll have Craig take the floor after Angela. So at this time, TJ Morgan, you have the floor. Williams, S21 plus, you're on deck. Stand by.
Well, you just answered my question to wait on the uniform. 'Cause
Angela?
My question,
Sir, Williams, you're on deck. You're not up yet. TJ Morgan has the mic.
Angela, would you please touch on proper sword etiquette for the honor guard and then branch into that on color guard too, and the emphasis on practice, 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 so people know that swords, where they're to be used and how they're to be used?
Thank you, TJ. Okay, well, let's just get one thing straight. When you've got a color guard, don't think I need a sword. Don't ever bring a sword out when you have a color guard, okay? Don't do that. The only time you want to bring that sword out is when you have a firing detail and that one Marine associate member with the sword is the one giving the commands. Do you understand that? He's got the sword, he's the one giving the commands. That's the only time you're going to bring a sword out. And if you happen to be brave enough to bring that sword, then practice. Have someone look at you. Look in the mirror, see what you look like. It's horrible to get out there and to see someone hurt themselves while they're in front of a family member at a gravesite. So please practice with the sword,
All right, thank you.
but
very
never
much.
with a color guard.
Next up is Williams. You have the floor, sir.
I'll wait. Mine was about the trousers, and my biggest thing was, what if the Marine is an E3?
There is no rank in the Marine Corps League.
Okay,
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, that question asked and answered. Wonderful, thank you for that. Next on my list, showing Krakow. I know I never say it right.
It's long A, long O. Craco.
Krakow.
Yeah.
You're up, sir.
For when you mentioned New York and Wisconsin, cold weather, all this other stuff, I know the flag carrier goes outside the jacket. What about the duty belt?
Okay, duty belt. Now, thank you for asking that question. Your flag carriers, they have their little jacket on that has to go on the outside. The duty belt goes on top of that flag carrier. I know you're probably looking at me like I'm crazy, but that's the way you wear it. It's
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it makes a lot of adjustments.
If you need to strap two of them together, go ahead, but whatever. But yes, sir, it goes on top of the harness.
Great questions coming in. Donna H., you had your hand up, but you seem to have dropped it. Do you still have a question, ma'am?
Mine was just wondering, there's been some interest in our detachment about starting the color guard and a firing squad, and I'm just wondering if I can reach out to Victoria or pass this information along with her being the contact for whoever wants to spearhead it.
Okay, I am not the contact, so Angela, go ahead and answer that.
Oh, I didn't mean Victoria. I'm sorry. I meant Angela. Whoops.
Because we look alike. Yeah, we look alike, Victoria. No, yes, Donna, absolutely. Afterwards, if you need my my information, I will absolutely get that to you so you can go ahead and get your detachment started up with a color guard.
Thank you.
Do you have any rifles or anything yet?
No, they got rid of
Nothing.
all the rifles.
Okay, we'll start from scratch.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I also put the public relations email address up there. If you ever don't know exactly ever where to send a question, comment, or concern, we'll help guide that. We're kind of the telephone operators of the league, so we'll help you through that. Frank Mathers, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening, all.
Evening.
My question is this. Good information on both honor and color guard. I've always believed, and if I believe I read something, that there's differentiation in uniforms, especially for the honor guard performing funeral services. One is that you don't wear awards at all. You're there for that decedent, that Marine who has passed on, just like everyone wears the same detachment or aft cap. No department, no national, no nothing. You're there for that Marine. And that's where I get hung up when I hear, color guard, honor guard, and they sound like they're the same. They have different purposes. And I don't know how they can be same, how you can wear your award there if you're there for that person who's passed away. Did you explain anything on that?
Okay, Frank, I'm not sure if I understood your question, but I think some of that is just bum scoop. Just blatantly, that's bum scoop. You are there, we have an order. The Marine Corps League has a uniform guide. We have an order that we must abide by with the honor guard and the color guard. Now, if you're there to present colors, if you have a Marine that is within the height and weight standards and he wants to wear his blues to do the presentation of the shells, that's absolutely encouraged. But there, I mean, who went out there and said you have to wear these medals and you can only, that's going far, way far beyond what our mission is. Our mission is to provide a service at the gravesite. So yes, have Frank, I guess I'm asking you, where did you read that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and check my notes. I've been doing it for 12 years, and every time I go to a funeral service, especially inside of a church, and I was always of the point that you're there to honor that Marine who is laid out and having the funeral services performed. And I was always directed, I'm gonna go back and check it. I will get back to you, and also Craig, I talked to him a lot, is that you wore your detachment cap only to honor that person because that's what you
Oh, the
wore
red
first.
cover.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
that's in the
at the
order.
same time, during your funeral services, you wear no personal awards, especially if you're wearing a white shirt, because you're there for that person. Just like no Marine of the Year honor.
I guess I'm trying to get to the point where you're saying, what significance are you trying to say when you're there for the Marine, but you cannot represent what you have earned on your
Right.
chest?
Right.
I can't make the connection. Please explain that to me.
It's only during their funeral services where I'm getting hung up on what you're explaining about uniforms.
I've never heard of what you're saying.
If I may, I
So-
think what I'm hearing is Frank is basically saying that it's not your moment. It's not about you. So peacocking your ribbons, awards, is not welcomed. But, Angela is basically saying, and again, I'm paraphrasing here, it's not written. If that is your choice for your detail, and correct me if I'm wrong, that, no decorations worn, then, that's perfectly fine, if I am correct, Angela.
Victoria, well, I would squelch that right away, because that leads into other detachments seeing that and thinking that that's what we have to do. That is not what we have to do. That is their choice. So I don't want, we should be proud of what we have. That's not taking anything away from the deceased at all. It's just.
Yeah, I thank you for your feedback, and I will.
Absolutely, Frank. I'd
my
like to know
research.
where that was read.
I'll dig it up and get it back to you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Okay.
Frank, this is Johnny Baker, and you're both exactly right. If your local commander wants to push that and everybody's okay with that, there's nothing wrong with that. But what Angela's saying is that's not a written order that we know of, and that it's okay to wear your ribbons, in that regard. If it's either Marine Corps League ribbons or DOD ribbons, it's okay. So right now, until we find something out different, that should be the way it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank. Great question. All right, next up is Williams.
Hey, my question's back to the jacket. I know a lot of detachments wear the red satin jackets, but lately those things are becoming obsolete. So is it about time for us to start looking at a different jacket? A different color?
I'm not clear what you're talking about with jacket. Maybe that's a question for Craig.
Okay, so like a lot of us have the red satin jacket that say U.S. Marines on it from the 80s to the 90s. A lot of the detachments are wearing those jackets when it's inclement weather. To try to find one now is almost impossible.
Okay, I get you. I get
The
you. I
ship
know
store,
where
the
you're
ship
going with
store
that.
carries them. The ship store carries them.
Yeah, we're still carrying those in the ship store, William.
Not in everybody's sizes. I had to go to eBay to find my jacket. That's the
Possibility.
problem. And especially with today, the way things are going with all our shippings and stuff,
Hey,
maybe
Hey, William,
we need
can
to
I-
look at something different.
hey, go do something different. Hey, Steve O'Hara, where you at? Can I have Steve talk about,
Here.
wear a black jacket? There's all kind, you don't have to stay with just that red jacket. There's,
Yeah, but I don't
that
think-
navy pea coat.
But the regulation doesn't say that. We don't have, by regulation,
No.
you don't really have an alternate.
No, you do. The detachment, that commander is gonna make that call. But the secret is everybody's gotta stay, everybody's gotta look alike. That's the
Right, I
whole thing.
understand that.
So you got, 10 red jackets. Steve, what did you use? What was the thing that you did?
Keep in mind the guidance that, just what she said, there is no official include. So we've done two things. We have the what looks like a black version of the Marine Corps' old weather coat is an Army uniform item, and most of the soldiers, as soon as they get out, they dump their seat bag on eBay. You can find these things for $20. They have a really thick liner. They're actually nicer coats than the Marine Corps old weather coat, which is good for rain, really bad weather. And then the Navy actually sells in the exchange a waist length black, basically like a black version of the tanker jacket. It's a Navy active duty uniform item. However, like our tanker jacket, without insignia on it, they authorize it for civilian wear. So I see nothing wrong with us co-opting that and using that as a uniformity item. I think it looks a lot more professional than the red satin jacket. That's a personal opinion. But it's a similar height or the weight and size as the red satin jacket.
For William and Steve both, I think the most important thing for Angela's trying to say is it is up to the individual local commander but consistency of everybody being in the same uniform is the most important. If it's black, red, whatever it is, the consistency of everybody being in the same uniform is most important. Thank you.
Okay,
right, great
thanks, Commandant. Does that answer your question?
He's nodding. He's still on mute.
Okay,
All right, thank you. I'm going to bring Lisa in one last question. Again, we're getting a little mixed up with color guard versus uniforms. So as soon as Lisa has the floor, she's going to take the next question, and then we're going to move to Craig. So Lisa, you have the floor, ma'am.
I just want to say with the jacket, there is no set jacket to wear. Somewhere where it's really cold, they may require parkas to keep warm. So as long as you are all the same, wear it. The red satin jacket, everyone is under the impression that that is the set jacket for the Marine Corps League, and it's not. Whatever you can find, depending where you live, for a light jacket or a heavy jacket, you all must match. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. All right,
thanks, Lisa.
we're about a half an hour in on that topic, which is absolutely amazing. And we're now going to switch it over to more specific individual uniforms. That is, I'm going to direct that now to Craig Grilling, who is the chair of our National Uniform Committee. Craig, you have the floor, sir.
All right, hi, everybody. I'm Craig Reeling. I'm the National Uniform Chairman. I just picked that job up at convention this year. So I've been on the Uniform Committee since 2011. I've been a member of the league for over 23 years now, almost 24. So I'm very familiar with Enclosure 3. That is the uniforms. Enclosure 4, which is awards. One of the big things that, is new to me as the uniform chairman, I have to approve all of the photographs that go into the Semper Fi magazine. And, a few years back, there were uniform violations that would sneak into the Semper Fi. So we're trying to do a very good job now at monitoring those photos. So as far as uniform violations, you members are out there doing a fantastic job getting out in the community. They take photos, they're posting them on social media or on a department webpage, and then they send it into Semper Fi, but they're out of regulation for the Marine Corps League. And so we have to say, no, that photo can't get in. It's fantastic photo, except this one item or these two items. And I really hate saying no to those type of photos, but we have to. And one of the reasons is because monkey see, monkey do. So if there are uniform violations that we're putting out on a national page or on a department page, or even at your local detachment level, and those photos are wrong, other people will see them, they will assume they're correct, and then they will start, copying it. So we don't want to, we really don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. So we're trying to kind of police ourselves as an organization. Now, we're going to have our outliers out there that are going to tell you, I earned these awards and go blank yourself. I'm going to wear them. And we are an all volunteer organization. So you have to, I wouldn't want to lose a volunteer over that personally. But we have to try and encourage them. I mean, I will tell you that my first Marine Corps League detachment, they started wearing the red blazer with 3 medals, 3 large medals. Okay. And guess what? A whole bunch of people in the detachment started doing that now, because again, monkey see, monkey do. It was the right way to do it. And, people go, well, I'm from Vietnam and I rate more than 3 medals. Well, one guy I know has a Silver Star, he's got a Purple Heart, and he has the Vietnam Service Medal. So, I look at it as that's your highest award. You got shot doing it. And where did you get shot? So, you kind of have to pick and choose if you have more than 3 medals, but there are options out there, if you want to do it. So how do we approach uniform violators when we see them? Well, first of all, you have to be very tactful when you talk to somebody. You can't just run up on them and be like, you're out of uniform, because a lot of times that will really make them mad, especially if you're at an event. So again, when I'm at an event, like for instance, I was just at a birthday ball this weekend, and the guy that was going to march in the cake, he had 3 lapel pins on it. And I'm like, well, he's going to be in photographs. So he won't make Semper Fi if anybody takes a photograph of him. So, we tactfully went and talked to him about it, and he just simply didn't know, and that was fine. He was fine. He's like, all right, I'll take one of them off. No problem at all. So, that's how you can fix things. Typically, if I'm notified of a uniform violation, I will reach out to the department commandant or the detachment commandant. And, it's sometimes better to come from someone that they know other than me making a phone call and they don't know who I am. So if it's your friend, be like, hey, look, you didn't know that was a violation. Let's just self-correct, and that way we can get a great photo into the Semper Fi. So one of the things I will tell you with enclosure 3 and enclosure 4, as most of you or some of you may be aware, it's not the easiest document to read. So out of our administrative procedures. And that's where a lot of the problems lie. People just they either don't read it or they misinterpret what they read. So what we're trying to do on the uniform committee is we are creating a national uniform guidebook, and we're going to have photographs of everything. I've already gone out and purchased a male and a female mannequin. I've actually had a photo shoot with a majority of the uniforms that we need. So those photos will stand the test of time. We won't have a photograph of someone who then becomes deceased or whatever the case may be. So that way, keep it simple, stupid. If you can look at a picture and say, I need to look like this, that's how we're going to be addressing it in the future. And I think as we move forward as a national organization, if we can do that, that'll alleviate a lot of these little problems here and there, because there'll be a guidebook posted that any member can look at to really be public knowledge for anyone to see. So that's where we're at as far as the uniform committee. We do have a number of people on my committee. Lisa's on my committee as well. Jeff Jones from North Carolina, Butch Raines from South Carolina, Steve O'Hare from Virginia, Allison Noger and Jack Severin, both from Maryland. I'm from Maryland. We have females on the committee, males on the committee. Allison is an associate member. So she has been very, very good at finding female uniforms and also associate member uniforms. So we're able to really help people when questions arise. Again, the same issue happened on Saturday night. We had a female associate member, who didn't know where to get a white shirt. And very simple, I just walked her over to Allison and said, the two of you start talking, and problem solved. Now she knows where to get her correct uniform items. But those are things that'll be addressed in a uniform guidebook. Where do I go buy this? If it's not the Semper Fi store, then where do I get the specific item that I need? But hopefully the Semper Fi store will carry a majority of the items that are required to wear a Marine Corps League uniform. That's all I have for right now. So I'm open to any questions.
We did have a question from Williams 21.
Okay, actually, I got it.
I guess
Okay, go
I'm
ahead,
here.
Williams, and then we'll start the ball rolling. Go ahead.
okay, the gold vest is like almost impossible to find. And then trying to figure out what gold is gold now.
So the Semper Fi store sells the gold vest. And, again, I don't know if they have every size. So for everyone's knowledge, the uniform committee is not, we don't procure the items for the Semper Fi store. That is Bob Borka and his team at the Semper Fi store. They stock it based on the needs of what they sell. So if it's, unfortunately, they don't always go out and purchase a ton of one size, because then they'll be stuck with it. So
Greg,
So
this
my
is
question
Johnny.
is, what,
I was just up
my-
there last week, William, and they do have them in stock, and one size fits all. They're
well,
adjustable.
well, my problem is I just got found out that I got to do a presentation at our ball, and I'm at the last minute trying to get a gold vest. And it's not like I can get it overnight to middle of America. And then trying to determine what gold is our Marine Corps gold vest to all the other golds that are out there.
Gold is
I mean,
gold.
so we would be okay whether we get the gold from the Marine Corps League store, or if I end up finding a gold vest as close as possible, is what you're saying.
There is some going around right now that people's bought recently that's a little bit different shade of gold.
Yes.
I would prefer you buy them from the ship store, but if you get one that's very close, I would wear it.
I mean, until I can get by, and then I can reorder from the ship store. Yes.
Yes, sir.
But I ran into a situation where I needed a lot quicker
Right.
than what it would take from the ship store. So that's the only reason, because some guy goes, no, you got to have the one from the ship store gold. Well, what gold? And when you look at gold out there, there's like, even our covers got, the state covers got two different golds on it. A duller gold on the middle and a brighter gold on the little piping.
All right, thank you, Williams. I hope we got that questions answered for you. Just as a reminder, please use your electronic raise your hand by hovering on the bottom. You go to reactions, there's a bar on the bottom to raise your hand. We're still trying to look at the room and people who are literally moving their hands around. Next on the mic is James Roy. We have approximately 20 minutes left. I'll go over so long as we got lots of questions coming in. James, you have a question, sir. You are muted, James. I see your mouth moving.
Sorry, I totally forgot. Craig, when y'all taking the pictures, are you going to do stuff like the optional uniform? For example, the optional red jacket instead of the formal? Because that's one
Yes.
that a lot of people don't use. I mean, that people use, or like that was my first step into it, was this past ball, and I was looking for examples, so I had to ask a lot of people.
So yes, the answer is yes. We're trying to have all of the options, every single uniform variation we're trying to have. So that way that leaves no, there's no discussion, like for instance, yes, with the red blazer and the formal mess dress with the red blazer, or blazer dress uniform, I guess you would call it. It's not the mess dress. But yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I think I already have that photo.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next on the, before I actually get John speaking, John G, I'm not gonna attempt to destroy your name. I'm seeing some private messages coming in directly to me. Please type to everyone. If you cannot raise your hand electronically, because some devices don't allow it, type to everyone in the chat. And two of my public relations members are actually watching that and messaging me on a different device. So John, the floor is yours, sir.
I just wanted to say a lot of these problems could be solved if people would look at the current Marine Corps League uniform regs. I bumped into people who want to show me something from 1970, which is no longer relevant. And sometimes someone will train somebody like 20 years ago and they perpetuate it, never want to change it. Just because you've been doing it that way means it's the right way. Make sure you check the current regulations. But I've seen people try to quote regulations that are more than 15 or 20 years old, and it doesn't have the right information. There's some of those old people out there carrying those things forever. They don't want to switch out what they got. So I just wanted to bring that information along. Thanks.
All right, thanks, John. That is a delicate subject with some of our more seasoned members. So, just like Craig said, you approach it the best you can. And if somebody doesn't want to change, that's fine. That means that their photos, unfortunately, will not be publicized. And that's That's a shame because there's some hardworking members out there. All right, next up, let me look over here. Hold on. All right, we have a chat question. I don't know if you have a microphone, but Ivan, you typed in a question. Would you like to approach the microphone on that topic?
I think it's me, Ivania.
Anya, yes. Sorry.
Well, sorry, I came in late to the meeting, but we've been trying for our detachment. We have several new members, and nobody can order covers for our new members because they're usually 7 1/4, 7 1/2. Will we be getting more covers to the ship store?
Okay, I'm going to let Craig go ahead and answer that, and then probably Johnny's going to follow that up.
So again, as far as the ship store, I'd have to defer to the National Commandant.
We just ordered about $200,000 worth of covers, and they're all coming in. What I suggest you do, and this is what Bob Worker would tell you, is go ahead and put it on order. And when the people when they do come in, the right size comes in, they'll automatically fill those first. That's ones that've been pre-ordered. So I would suggest you go ahead and order those as soon as possible. Keep in mind that what happens that we're getting ready for another midwinter conference coming up in February, and people buy us out. So I would suggest getting out there. What I hate to see is one detachment come there and buy 20 or 30, 7 1/4 or 7 1/2, and they're all gone. We have ordered a lot of those exercises. We pay very particular attention to that, this particular where we are right now, and they are coming in daily.
So they're not sold out online? I can order them online or call on the phone?
Online is the best.
Okay.
All right, that is a great question. Also, Jeff is going to be our next question up, but I wanted to, Ray Morrell, he created a social media, a Facebook group, buy, sell, trade uniform items. So if Ray actually can put that in the chat box, or you can email me and I'll get you that hyperlink to a Facebook group. And it's just membership, trading off items. Some departments might have excess of, so we try to help each other out. Jeff Strauss, you have the floor, sir.
Thanks, Victoria. Johnny, I need to ask you this probably on the ship store, so everybody knows this. There really is not a way to make a back order. So the best way to do it is by calling or emailing the ship store to get the stuff put on back order. Is that not correct, sir?
That's a good question. I'm not sure I can answer your specific question on that one. I'll tell you what, y'all keep talking and I will call you. I'll get back in here in just a second. I'm gonna put myself back on mute and I'll get you an answer right now.
All right, well, we'll wait for that question to be answered. Next up is going to be Danny Thomas. And you are muted if you're speaking. There you are.
Good evening. I have 3 covers that I can wear at any given time. My question is, when would I wear something other than my detachment red cover?
Craig? Craig, did you hear the question? Okay, it looks like Craig froze up. To paraphrase the question, you're looking for an occasion where you're not wearing a red cover, correct?
Yes.
Basically, the best thing to keep in mind, you rate to wear the highest level cover, period. But out of respect for your detachment, it's red cover. When you're at a department meeting, it's your department cover. National cover. But I will pass that. Craig just went offline. Lisa, did I answer that correctly to Danny?
I'm back.
Yes, you did. So color guard and honor guard are the only ones that you wear the same cover. You're all going to match. Everyone, regardless if you're a national officer, a PNC, a PDC, everyone wears the red color cover for color guard, honor guard.
All right, we did get Craig back. Wonderful. All right, thank you, Daniel. That was a very good question because sometimes we see the mismatch going on. I am quite surprised. There are not more questions coming in. Actually, I see one in the chat, which I don't usually look over here. Audrey, you have a question. Come on in, ma'am.
Yes, so there was a question in reference to the lapel pins, where they go on the red blazer. Is it before the notch above on the part of the lapel, or is it below that first notch?
Craig, are we still with us? Okay, we might have lost him again. I'm not sure. Lisa, you're up.
It's the notch is here. I believe it's right below the notch. 2 pins, only 2. I see 5, 6, 7, 8 on both lapels. Left lapel, sorry, left lapel only, 2 pins.
All right, thank you for that.
And Lisa, they must be parallel to each other, not up and down.
Correct.
And for William, I believe it was, who asked me the question? Was that you, Jeff, or William?
That was me, Johnny.
Okay, Jeff. The answer is the best way to do it if it shows up as out of stock is to email either merchandise@mcleague.org or lwilliamson@marinecorpsleague.org. The problem that we were having, if you pre-ordered it, they would go ahead and charge a card and didn't come in for several months. That causes issues. So if you will, and Miss Williamson will be getting back a hold of you once you email her of something that is out of stock.
You got that, Ivana?
Yeah, can you repeat the email, please?
Okay, the first one is merchandise, MERCHANDISE, merchandise @MC spelled out LEAGUE.org, mcleague.org, or Miss Williamson's email address is lwilliamson @mcleague.org.
Okay, yeah, because I tried to place an order right now, but if it says sold out, you can't even click on it.
Send Miss Williamson an email and she'll help you out.
All righty.
She is
They're
phenomenal.
very helpful
Ivana.
up there, and they're getting new stock in almost every day.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Ivana, you also had your hand up.
It was for that. It was to let you guys know that I tried to place an order right now and it wouldn't let me.
Okay, very good. Once again, in the chat, I put it in one more time, public relations @mcleague.org. We're basically your national telephone operators. If you're not sure how to use your chain of command or your chain of command is not answering your questions, we will help direct your questions to the right people. So once again, public relations @mcleague.org. And believe it or not, nobody has their hand up.
So real quick, Victoria, I'm sorry I was going in and out with my internet. I had to go yell at my kid to stop playing video games, I guess. So someone mentioned lapel. I heard the very end of lapel pins and 2 lapel pins, which is correct. You're allowed to wear 2 lapel pins plus a ribbon bar. So and the reason I mention that is because I don't know if you can see on my lapel, on my red blazer, that's what it looks like. It's 2 lapel pins and a ribbon bar. So you are allowed to wear a ribbon bar on your jacket. Now, technically a ribbon bar looks like a pin, but it's a ribbon bar, not a lapel pin. So you technically would be, like for me, that's a Korea Defense Service medal that I wear in a ribbon bar above because my father's a Korean War veteran. So I wear that, I was in Korea and I wear my ribbon to honor him.
Only
So-
one ribbon, only one ribbon bar, correct?
Correct, only one ribbon bar.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot of guys wear Purple Heart or something like that. So
Hey, Craig, the guys are wanting to see it again.
if we can get it up here in my camera here.
Okay.
So
it
that is a past department commandant's pin, a chapel of Fort Chapel pin, and then the KDSM, Korea Defense Service Medal ribbon bar up top here. And then again, they're parallel and it's below the notch. So, and for instance, this will be one thing that'll be addressed in photographs in the uniform guidebook. so that there'll be no, you'll look at it and you go, oh, it's got to look like this. So it'll be one of the things that we're doing.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. All right, next question, Stephanie. Mark, you are on deck. Stand by.
Yes, this is for Craig. So when do you anticipate the uniform guidebook will be available?
So I'm hoping by midwinter, hopefully, if we can get it done. You know, I'm really kind of the sooner the better. I am my local area coordinator for Toys for Tots, so I am about to start my busy season. So, but I'd like to have it done by midwinter so we can make a presentation. That's my ultimate goal.
Okay. And how will we be notified when that's available?
Via email through the national commandant to the district vice, division vice commandants. Well, it'll probably go out on Facebook, say, hey, this is available in the league library, go find it. I'm sure it'll go out a bunch of places.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Stephanie. Mark, you're up.
Hi, just listening to everybody this evening, it seems like, and I hate to use the word evolution, I think it's regressed through the years, that through education, that Marines don't know how to wear their uniforms. I think as Mr. Gione had mentioned something, that members are still using guidebooks and guidelines from the 70s. I would like to see, I guess this would have to come from the committee, or if you're a detachment commandant, is to take 10, 15 minutes every couple of times a year in your department or your detachment meetings to go over this stuff, to refresh the memory of the Marines that are been there forever, since Chesty Puller, and the new guys have training at the detachment level. I know Texas, our fall conference, will probably do some more or initiate this type of training at our fall conference, possibly at our state convention. So, like I said, I think a lot of guys and gals are not aware of the uniform policy across the league. And I think it's just something that has just kind of fell through the cracks through the years. And it's time to educate, not jump on somebody because they got 4 lapel pins or they got the wrong kind of covers, stuff like that, just to educate them. Praise in public, discipline in private. If you're going to call somebody out or whatever, correct them, do it around the corner, out of line of sight. So you're not humiliating them or embarrassing them in front of a lot of other people, stuff like that. But
all right. Thank you so much for that, Mark. You are very correct. Craig, did you want to comment on that?
No, everything you said, I agree with. Yeah,
very good.
Absolutely.
Very good. Just so you know, we only have 4 minutes to the 1 hour Zoom. I will stay so long as these amazing questions are coming in. Next up with the hand up is Ivania. You're up.
So we just had a conference and a question came up that somebody was under the impression or that associates can wear instead of the sunburst or the starburst, they could wear the one that they wear in the collar that says MCL, the gold bar that says MCL on it. And when I looked up the uniform policies, it says that you have to wear the starburst or the sunburst. I forgot what it's called, but not that bar with the MCL.
Correct. It's sunburst only on the cover. Sunburst only on the cover.
Was that something in the past, maybe, that they would wear that MCL bar on the cover of the associates?
Not that I can remember. There never was a, we never had a specific associate member. There used to be people used to take a collar emblem and they used to put it on their cover. And then a few years back, we finally decided to get a screw back, like our EGAs are screwed in. They finally decided where you could buy one collar emblem, it's an associate member screw in. That came back a few years ago now, but it's as far as I'm aware, you've always had to wear the sunburst on the cover and the MCLs over here on your lapels up here.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up.
All right, thank you so much. TJ Morgan, you're up. Dave Brady, you are on deck.
That was interesting that somebody had brought up the gold vest today, because I had a post that I made this morning about this gold vest. So while I was at the ball out of town, the one that I bought from the ship store, which I consider a half vest, you know, it just goes over the neck and it's not a full vest. It broke, and so luckily I brought a cummerbund with me and I was able to do that. But I've had troubles. I've had that vest for 12 years. I've had troubles with it, just the way it looks, because it comes out above your mesh jacket or your red jacket. It doesn't look, if you take your jacket off, it doesn't look very good. So I went on Amazon and I found one. I bought one that was probably the wrong color, but did find one I think that we can do as an option, and I'll go through the right procedures and see if Craig can approve this for an optional use. But if you guys can all see this, this is a full vest, and I believe it's the same color gold as our current half vest, and I think and so I think it would be a great option. This is $29.99 for the full vest, and so I think it's a great option that we can look at, and maybe Craig, you could go through that in committee, or I'll submit a bylaw change to get it put in for an option. But having a full vest, you can get this, by the way, it's Prime, so you can get it in a day or two. I try to do all my business through the ship store, but obviously with supply chain issues and times and stuff like that, it just gives another option for the league. And I wanted to share that with the group.
Thank you so much, TJ, for that. Again, moving right along. Dave Brady, you're up. Ray Morrell, you are on deck.
Howdy. When Craig was showing us his blazer, I noticed he has the acrylic emblem on the pocket. And I got mine 20 years ago out of an ad that was in the Semper Fi magazine, and people are asking me where to get it. I don't know where to get it. Does anyone have an idea of where we might be able to find those now? Where they, who manufactured them? Unfortunately, I don't have a tag on it or anything.
Dave, so I have it's waltercurtis.com. It's right on the, where's my camera? Here it is.
Mike Francis can get you the information as
So,
well.
Okay.
Yeah. Walter Curtis, WALTERCURTIS.com. His phone number is 800-783-8762. It's located in Michigan.
All right, thank you.
You can also get them at marinecrest.com, was put into the chat. That's where a lot are getting a lifetime warranty there as well. Thank you, Dave.
Maybe we can get them to put an ad in Semper Fi.
Would be great. Thank you so much, Dave. Ray Morrell, you're up, and Dennis Tobin, you are standing by.
I just want to comment on what Mark Olmixon had referenced as far as a detachment meeting and a fashion show. As a detachment commandant, I actually dedicated one night a year for the purpose of a fashion show. I had respective members of my detachment wear this uniform with this setup, this uniform with that setup, and they came in, I explained the uniform, that configuration, and I tell you what, it made a world of difference for my detachment. Not only did they wear it correctly, but they all encouraged more to actually purchase the uniform and wear it. So that's one good thing that can come about of it. The other thing I want to point out, though, is a question about the MCL gold bar. So yes, the associate member wears the starburst on their cover. The gold bar is for their collars. There was a picture posted on the national Facebook page sometime back, and the comments coming back where people are, well, what the hell is he wearing his lieutenant bars as an associate member. No, that is the associate member stamped MCL, and that is a collar emblem for the undress uniform, which is the white aviator shirt. Just want to clarify those two things.
All right, thanks a lot, Ray. We keep talking about Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. If you are not using Facebook, I encourage everyone to assign someone in the detachment, swear in an associate member, a kid, a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, because there's a lot of great information being passed through social media at the national level. Dennis Tobin, you're up. James Roy, you're on deck.
Good evening, good evening.
Hey.
I just want to make an overall statement and things I've seen over the years, and I'm sure everybody else has seen it. I'm sure we're all familiar with the statement, not as lean, not as mean, but still a United States Marine. Well, you wouldn't walk out of the squad bay or your home or wherever you are on base not looking right. You have a mirror in your house and you put on your Marine Corps League uniform, whether it's the black trousers, dress blue trousers. We all need to look in the mirror. I look in the mirror about 4 dozen times, partly because I love myself and the other part because I want to make sure I look good. But, if your shirt is constantly coming out of your trousers, try the old tuck the skivvy shirt into your drawers, Turk. That don't work. Invest in, the shirt stays. Something. Make sure your trousers meet your shoes, not your ankles. We need to take, and I'm speaking to the choir, but, even if we see it, we need to take pride in how we look when we go out, no matter what we're wearing. So that's all I got to say. Just show my 2 cents in, because I can do that now. Nobody can really yell at me.
No one's allowed to be yelled at anyway on these Zooms. We talked about that when we started this, Dennis.
I can
All
still
right.
yell at you, Dennis.
All right, we're starting to get silly, which is a good thing. Remember, these are socials. James Roy, you're up. Ivania, you are on deck. Stand by.
My question is not really about I know the answer already, but well, sort of. A lot of our older members are almost insistent on wearing their mini medals on their red blazer, not in the optional formal, but just normally. Is that something that used to be part of the regulations? I'm just trying to figure out why they're doing it, I guess.
Craig, you're up.
It's been a long time. If that was a thing, it's been a long time since that was a thing. You haven't been able to wear mini medals for a long time. Now, again, the wearing of 3 large medals was recently approved within the last, 5 to 8 years, maybe. So, those people we need to have a conversation with, just like I mentioned at the top of my spiel, and say, look, okay, you're a Vietnam guy. Let's pick 3. And if they're like, well, I don't know how to do this, okay, well, I'll help you. You can do it. You go to the website, you order their 3 mounted properly, and you say, okay, those 3 medals cost $15, $18, $25, whatever it is. Give me $25 and I'll order them. And then they can wear them. And then if they see other people doing that, a lot of people will put them on for Veterans Day or Memorial Day, like birthday balls, all that. It's just not authorized. And they, again, monkey see, monkey do. They think I rate them so I can wear them all. And they saw somebody else do it in the detachment, and no one at the detachment levels ever told them they can't do that. So, or giving them an option to, there never was an option for large medals at one point.
Right.
So now that there is, they need to be made aware that there's an option and to go figure it out somehow.
All right, great question. I hope that was answered. Again, this is all being recorded. This will be able to be shared, but we got Ivania with the last hand up. We need to start winding it down. So Ivania, you're up. You're up.
Well, I forgot I had my hand up, but just to let you know that we about maybe like a year and a half ago also did a presentation on uniforms at my detachment. Before that, everybody wore red polos and black pants for everything. And so one day we wore our aviator, our undressed. I wore one and a male wore one. And after that, people liked the way we looked. We did a little modeling show for them and everybody got interested in purchasing. We helped them find their shirts, where we went with them to help them get their trousers. And now we have almost the entire detachment has their undress uniforms. So doing a little modeling show for your detachment works wonders.
All right, thank you for that, Ivania. I know you had made mention that you came in late, so I am actually going to pass this to Angela Manis right now, because you said some evil words that she's probably cringing over, saying red polo. So Angela, you have the floor.
I might have missed a little bit. Can somebody refresh my memory or school me on what she said? What was the comment?
Ivania, go ahead and say
Oh,
what you
I said that about a year and a half ago, our detachment used to wear red polos and black pants for everything. But not anymore.
When you say everything, are you saying color guard as well?
We didn't, I don't think we did color guard then.
That's good. 'Cause that would be really bad. But hey, as long as you're learning, your detachment has to learn, this is the proper uniform that you wear for these events. And, it kind of sounds like you're out there teaching. So mentorship is definitely what we need to keep seeing. Keep it up.
We're trying our best, and I can't wait to see the guidebook for the uniform.
Outstanding. Ivania, I am very curious, and I love to see my young faces. Where are you from?
We're from the East LA detachment in California.
California is showing an amazing presence. I do apologize. I missed the last Zoom that you guys had, but the time difference, this is not good for these old people. I say me, old people. There are no more hands up. And again, this has been recorded. I will keep recording until I make this last announcement. The next Commandant's Corner, December, is very busy for everyone. So I'm actually going to switch it from a Thursday to a Wednesday. Some feedback coming through saying Thursdays are no good. So I'll try to alternate it. Wednesday, December 8th at 1900. Once again, I send the Zoom information to department commandants, the top 4 national officers, and the entire board of trustees. If you, as a regular Red Hat detachment member, are not getting this information, please go up your chain of command and find out where it's being stalled. This room should be full, and this was an amazing Zoom that more and more should have been a part of. So make sure you're getting that information. Once again, use your chain of command to ask these questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. And when you get corrected, if you are one that gets corrected, take it, nod, smile, and say thank you. Okay, we all need to learn together. There's nobody out to get anybody. And please, when you present your criticisms or corrections, do it respectfully. And that's really all that I have. And if Johnny Baker, I'll let you close it out, but that is all for me. Public relations at MarineCorpsLeague.org. Johnny Baker, you up.
Well, great. Thanks again, Victoria. As usual, you kept us all in line and straight, except for Dennis Tobin. So if you can do something with him, I'd appreciate it. I don't know if there's any help there, but that's okay. No, thank you all for being here. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. This is a great opportunity. How about my Hawaii guys? I didn't hear any questions from you, Scotty. Where you at, buddy?
He was here.
I'm hitting, yeah.
Yes, Craig was here. Good listeners.
So just wanted to say we got them as far away as Hawaii in this meeting. Last month we had a couple from Hawaii. Angela and myself and a few others are going over to Hawaii pretty soon, and we're looking at maybe starting a new department in Hawaii. They got 3 detachments, so Angela is going to go over there with me, and we're going to rattle some cages over there, huh, Angela? But anyway, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all.
Thank you, Angela and Craig, for the amazing information shared tonight. You all have a wonderful evening. Good night, Chesty.
Good night. Go Patriots.
Good night, Chesty. Semper Fi.
Go Yankees.
Hoorah. Semper Fi. Go Dolphins.
Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.